Hey, pre-notification gang. Shit. Doing alright. Hope you're doing well, man. Yeah, we're doing a chess lesson with Levy today. It's pinned. What? That wasn't it? Oh, taken by queen. That was queen. God damn it, I'm falling apart. Good morning. Ooh, what's the continuation here? Hmm. I don't think that's it. That wouldn't make any sense. Does it just take? No, can't be. Yeah, it's an early stream. Thanks to the resub, Shirio. Whew. I'll just try it anyway. Oh, that was it. Because you can't take since it's pinned. It wasn't a checkmate. It's just a good move, I suppose. I thought it was... That's one of the main problems I have with puzzles, is thinking everything needs to be a checkmate. Thanks for the gift sub, Sam Gleason in the Tier 1 California Sucks. And the gift sub, Huddy. It was mate. No, it wasn't. We still had this in the last problem, right? At least I think. I can't remember now. Play against Ludwig bot? Oh yeah, he got his own bot, didn't he? How does it start? Probably with a bishop move or take, maybe. Pin. Take. Yeah. No. Just take. No checkmate. Oh, I'm in check. I think he's just move king, right? Yeah. Thanks for tier 1 Presto and the resub Limbo, gift sub Perez, resub Hasiryu, and Cutter Vision the Prime Jam, and the bits jumping. What's the move? Does it start with this? Take, 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 take. And we go into an endgame? Yeah. Thanks to the Prime, Avent Pog, Ghoulsy, and the bits Dick Cherry. I think it's just here, right? Yeah. It's not a king move, I don't think. It's probably also not a pawn move. Well, it might be a king move. I move this back. And then push pawn. Thanks, Tidbit. I feel like it's supposed to use the pawn. But I don't think I take. I think I have to drop back first. Thanks to the resub Toast and Cobbly. Maybe I take first and then move. Oh, because it gets rid of the rook. I see. I think it starts rook. Take. Take. Has to. Take. I think so. No, wait, what? Oh, I see. Oh, Jesus. Once that takes, I just go down. And then he takes and it's mate. Damn. This was a mating pattern here. Fuck, I didn't see it. I see it now, though. Thanks to the tier 1 chubs in the gift sub Huddy and the resub Rick, Nick, McDoug, and the gift sub Dorm. And the Prime Grease. God, I'm so tired of the J Station spam. Of course I've seen it. It's been like 3 days. Why are you guys so late to everything? Thanks to the Prime phone box. Thanks to the Prime Slick. No, I know what the solution is now, I'm pretty sure. It's just pushing it down, its mate. Yeah. I just didn't see it right away. Thanks to resub Blake and the Prime Slick. And Swabby. Oh, sweet, well thank you, Dole. Hope everything's going alright. Yeah, it's just gonna be chess for this afternoon, then stream again later tonight. Thanks for the 5 gift subs, Google Translate. You think you'll go into Ray's new podcast? I mean, that's entirely up to her. Why do you stream shit? I don't even know what that means. What, you don't like chess? Darker Healer 8. Thanks for the gift sub, Huddy. And the gift sub, Jimmy. No one's forcing you to, like, stop in here, man. If you don't like chess, why stay? Thanks for the resub, Mech. Good to see you, man. Thanks to the Prime, Miru. And the resub, Huolani. And the resub, Panda and Prime Panic Attack and resub at 7-1. The Prime Fire Ferret. How many ELO before Grandmaster? Literally like 2,000 more, which is like impossible. Thanks to the resub marts. What's my favorite opening? Accelerated Dragon. Obviously. Thanks to the Prime Wizard. And thank you for the 5 gift subs, Mech. Thank you, Mech. I don't know the Traxler. $1,200 today? No, I don't think I'll hit 1,200 today. But I am happy that I hit 1K again, mainly through 3-minute games. So it tells me I'm getting faster. Thanks to tier 1, that Tokyo Panda. Oh, I know the fried liver. That one's pretty cool. Thanks to the 5 gift subs, Chuma. Hey, Chuma. And thanks to the bits, Math. And the Prime, Barrera. And thank you for the 5 gift subs, Huddy. Thank you, Huddy. Appreciate the generosity. Yeah, of course I'll moist meter Attack on Titan after the season. And have I tried the soggy biscuit strat? Oh no, I have not. Yeah, I should try and learn that, or the blue waffle open. Thanks for the bits, Cougar. Thank you for the goddamn look down. Thank you for the 5 tier 2 gift subs again, man. It's like 3 days in a row. You're a fucking maniac. Thank you, look down. Thanks to the resub D squared. Yeah, that's what I've been doing, Rambe. I was doing puzzles just a second ago, but it's about time. We're getting to that point. Thanks for the bits, Kiwi. Thanks for the resubs, Caesar. Have I tried the hippopotamus opening? It's not a theory thing. Yeah, I know the hippo. I've seen it. I don't know it, but I've seen it. Thanks to the tier 1 Bacchus and Prime Dread. Why didn't you get a bot? I have no fucking idea, man. It's not my department. It wasn't my call. Thanks for the bits, good. I stretch the browser so that way my face cam doesn't block the left side of the board. What time is it for me? It is 1 p.m. Thanks to the resub, May May. Thanks to the bits, ceiling fan. What do you have for lunch? Haven't eaten lunch yet. Thanks for the gift sub, Dorm. Resub, Rager. No, this is with Levy today. Thanks to the bits, Cougar. When is PogChamps? Sometime this month. I'm not sure. Thanks to the Prime, Cisco. And the 5 gift subs again, Huddy. Goddamn, Huddy, thank you. Oh, well, congrats then, Huddy. And thanks to the resub bin. Thanks for the tier 1 Shodden. And thanks for the Prime Pluto. PogChamps is February 14th. Okay, okay. Yeah, I'll be streaming again tonight. It's just going to be a chess lesson for a little bit this afternoon, and then tonight I'll come back and do something else. No, I've heard of it before, Robertson. I don't know if I've watched anything there. Thanks for the bitch Fluster. Sorry to hear about the snow. Cold weather sucks. Use the Norwegian penis cum gambit. I'll ask if Levy knows it.
Yo.
Hey, man. Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you doing?
I'm getting snowed in.
Mm.
How you guys have it sunny over there?
It's rainy. It rained yesterday and it's raining again today. But it's not super cold, which is good.
Yeah, we're gonna get 2
Thanks
feet of
for
snow.
Danny.
So I'm excited. I'm sitting here. I also, when I do these lessons, I capture your video, and naturally you are a little bit behind, so I have to resync it. And my entire chat is currently having an aneurysm typing the desync command.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's really something, I have to tell you.
Big dabs.
Well,
thanks to tier
how was
1
your lesson with Mr. Naroditsky? What did you cover?
It was mainly a lot of review. We were going through like some of the mistakes I've made on my journey back to 1K here, making sure I could find like the right moves in the positions instead of the dog shit ones I played, and that was really the bulk of it. Just rubbing my nose in the mistakes.
Have you recovered from facing Hikaru?
yeah, I think so.
Oh my god, it's such an epic clip. So today I actually just got done with a blitz session against a decent player, like 2600. There was a couple of moments in these games that I wanted to show you. A lot of them are with white, because actually our lesson today will be with the white pieces.
Okay.
So just different attacking patterns. Some of them have to do with piece play, some of them have to do with pawn play. Just, you're in live chess, right? So I can invite you.
Yep.
Okay, cool. You have been invited. You've been sent the first invitation. And before we go, any questions about openings? I did notice that against Hikaru, it was a French and you didn't play the advanced, but you played advanced in a few other games and it worked really well. So
yeah, I guess I need to know like when's the right time to play it, because I feel like I'll autopilot playing the exact same thing without recognizing if it's like optimal or not. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Okay, we could do a little openings review after this, and then maybe like play a game. We'll talk out our thought process. All these games I had white, so as I said, and in all of them we won, which means that I need to work on my black openings. I started with d4. Do you know what this is called? d4 and bishop f4? Do you ever get...
No, I don't know this one.
Okay, so this is the London system.
You might have heard
the name, but you don't play it with white, so you probably... Once you kind of consistently get about 11-1200, a lot of people are playing this. And so g6, black is going for a setup. Actually, Daniel likes this a lot. The King's Indian defense with... bishop d6 and pawn. So I go knight c3. With this move I'm trying to go for e4 and then speed up my castling. And actually, in this system with white, since you're going to castle this way anyway, you can play a move like h4.
What are you looking to do with h4?
Well, let's say black, let's just give black a random move. Or actually, let's give black a natural move, castles. You're trying to go h5.
Okay.
And then if they take you, what do you think I'm trying to do here with this knight coming to h5?
Are you trying to open up this file eventually?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm also looking for this move.
Oh, okay. Throwing the rook at it. Okay.
Defended by the queen. And so right away when this queen is here, what's the first thing you're thinking of?
I was looking at the X-ray, going to like G file here, hitting the bishop.
Yes, queen g5. You've got ideas like this. You also can get the bishop out like this. The queen's current target is these two pawns, right? So if it was white's move, how can you add a layer of attack here? Help the queen out.
You could bring the bishop to D3.
Yeah. Once the bishop comes out, black basically has only one move that doesn't lose. See if you can spot it. How does black... It's not this because we just take it. So how does black stop our attack? Interposing. It has to, you have to block the path of one of the pieces. You have to block its vision.
All I see that does that without throwing away strong pieces, pushing the pawn to F5.
That is 100% right.
Okay.
So supported by this and this. And then white is still doing well because you've developed a piece. You can bring the knight, so it's going to help the queen also. And in the long run, you told me we opened this H file, so who's going to end up on that square?
Oh, that's going to be the rook.
Yeah, so the last piece is going to get
Is
involved.
it
These
tier
positions
1
are
Kunai,
horrible to play
Tanner?
with black because you're just, it's an avalanche. And that's actually why I always say if H4, just play H5. Don't even... Now, a couple of things have to be right for this to happen. So first of all, black has to castle into it, right? Like black has to already have their king there. You have to not castle, obviously. You have to have your options open. But if black plays h5, well now, I mean, we have to kind of go back to more natural development. And that's kind of what I do. Opponent took, I did this. He plays c6.
Next resub GRM.
So now I move my queen out because I'm trying to go long. Knight d7, castles, castles. Okay. Now this is a bit harder. But opposite side castling, how can white make progress in this position? What's next? You get here, what's next?
I was looking at a way of breaking the pawn chain here on the king side, but I'm not seeing an optimal way.
Let's try to use, so rather than words, let's try to go for specific moves. So you want to break the structure. What are you thinking about? What move specifically?
I'm trying to figure out a way of opening the H file, so I'm trying to get rid of that H5 pawn.
Okay, well, how can we target this pawn? We've got this, but there's one move that will help break the mold there.
I'm guessing just pushing the G pawn then.
Okay, so very good. Pawn break, right? G4. The problem with this move is that if you do it now, they take and, you know,
Yeah.
we're... Okay, but how do you prepare the move G4?
You probably have to... You have to drop the bishop back and push the other pawn?
So this will prepare it in 1, 2, 3, but you can prepare it in 1 and then 2.
Oh, just moving the rook.
Yes. Now, okay, $1 million question. Which rook?
I think it's supposed to be the D rook, right? Since it's not involved in the attack.
Yes. Yes, rook G1, exactly. So this is also an interesting concept. I was looking at this game after I played it.
Thanks
If
to
you play
Prime
rook
Rooks.
G1, if you plug this into the computer, it wants you to play like a waiting move or break in the center of the board with E4. And I was like, why not
Thanks
this?
to Prime Timmy.
And then if you let this move sit, it suddenly starts saying white is much better. So computers struggle to see an attack far out. I don't know why. It's always been a weak point of computers. Like they underestimate slow attacking, like preparing moves and the move G4. Now, if this is your plan, what do you think Black is going to do? I want to see how you conceptualize this. What is Black is just Black's not going to sit there and die. So what do you think Black is going to do?
Hmm. I guess they'd try and recognize where the attack's coming, and let's see how they would reinforce that square.
So can they stop our plan of G4?
No, they can't stop that. At least not that I see.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they could bring the knight in to like e5, but he just throws away the knight, so it doesn't work at all.
Yes, exactly. So like moves like this, I'm totally discounting. We'll just take and everything. So, and G4's coming. So when I think G4 is like gonna happen, I'm like, well, Black's. There's two ways to face an attack. Obviously, stop it, or counterattack.
Thanks to resub
So
Oni
there's two
Tuna, the
spots
Prime
of
Jersey,
counterattack.
resub Mike.
Maybe in the center with E5, or where else on the other side of the board. So how's that going to work? What are you conceptualizing? How's Black going to attack you?
You could get the queen over to the b6 over there and maybe look to get an attack on king's side.
Yep, queen side.
Or queen side, right?
Yeah.
Queen side.
So because we've put our queen. So
Yeah.
queen A5, queen B6. But how about with a pawn? This is very, very important. How will Black? Let's say the queen comes here, sure, but there's a certain move here, like a pawn attack, very similar to ours. B5.
Oh, okay.
So something like this. Like I just want you to kind of understand that this is even possible. For me, you build experience, you're like, okay, rook G1, I want to go G4. I know for a fact my opponent is going to play B5. And that's what he does. I mean, they're trying to get a faster attack than me. They want to attack my knight, so my knight doesn't guard my pawn. You suggested the queen is going to come out. So castled on opposite sides, this is how you pawn storm. Always be thinking the pawns are coming first. Now, I don't care. I just go G4. He takes, I take, knight F6. Okay, logical.
Mm-hmm.
Now I drop my rook back to G2. Why there? Why not G1? Why
Because
G2?
maybe stack the rooks.
Good. You don't just have to automatically go back to where you were. Rook G2. Also, this is guarded. I don't know if that's ever going to be useful, and the cool thing is you don't know where you're going to stack.
Thanks to resub Timmy.
You have the flexibility here. You don't know if you're going to stack on the H file or the G file. So at least you're flexible. They're kind of this decision is yet to be made. So knight to H5 gets played. Obviously, guy wants to go here. Couple of ways to handle this. First of all, are you afraid of this? No, because it's guarded. But more importantly, from a conceptual standpoint, why would Black not want to trade off the knight for the bishop?
You get a pawn more in your attack here, so you could push that pawn to try and clear out that way there.
Yes. Perfect. This knight is like the one thing stopping everything. Literally everything.
Yeah.
Do you remember in the last lesson, this is going to be a conceptual review.
Thanks to the Prime Flag Guy and resub Saucy.
How many more, what's that rule? How many more attacking pieces than defenders?
It's, was it +2?
Yes.
Okay.
In this case, we have 4, because we have bishop, 2 rooks, and queen, and we can have the knight. So, bam, bam. Now the knight's 5.
That's what I like to see. That's looking good.
So in the game, I tried to be a bit fancy. I was inspired. I really wanted to sack my rook here. And I was like, dude, you could take my bishop. I don't care. He didn't. He played queen a5, continued with the plan. So I played king b1. Important that even when you're attacking, you don't just ignore what they want. Because if you just double stack, all of a sudden, this happens. And it's like, oh, okay, that's a bit unpleasant, Because then, look, if I take the knight trying to open all this, do they have to take this? No. What are they going to take?
They'll take the knight.
Yeah, this is actually kind of a problem. So you have to just control and see what they want as well.
Bird boy.
And then I said, okay, king b1. Opponent went here. We did the double stack. King f8. Now everything is there. This game, we used one pawn break. We did g4. That was the one thing that we did a few moves back to open it up. But now we have to chop it all down with the pieces. So the king moves over. It stops controlling that square. how are you going to make use of the h7 square? It's kind of hidden, but if you find a way to break it all open, you just win the game.
I think it has to start with taking the knight. Well, no, but he doesn't have to take back.
Well, you're right. If he doesn't take back, we're just up a knight, right? And
Yeah.
we're just gonna. So yeah, just it's not like, but it's 100% this.
Oh, okay.
The game,
Okay.
game's just over, because bishop moves. You have mate. So that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
And if, let's say, the guy goes like e6, for example, finish this off. Play this against me. I'll be black. No pressure, but you have mate in 4. You also have mate in 7.
Okay. Well, I think it starts with delivering this check here.
Okay, I'm gonna go king e7. Wow, that was like automatic. You on that 3-minute flow. I like it.
Yeah. I'm trying to get quicker at things here.
Let's go here. So you...
I think it starts with taking the... No. If I take the rook, you can take back with queen.
Well, use your powerful pieces there.
Yeah, I think it's just taking this pawn for another check, right?
Everything falls apart here. Everything falls apart. If I go king up, you have mate in 1. Where is it?
It's just right here.
Yes, nice queen and bishop. And if I go king to c8, it's actually funny. I know you had just discounted this move, but right now, since the king just is on the back rank, like bishop d8 is definitely the best move, because no matter what happens, something's on the back rank.
Mm-hmm.
So king takes, rook g8 is mate. You clear the path. Queen d8, rook g8. I mean, I trust you'll beat even the strongest of grandmasters in this. But you give this with white versus Hikaru. I think you win 10 out of 10. rook g8.
I don't know, man. After what I witnessed playing as Smurf, it felt like playing against God himself. That shit was wacky.
Yeah,
He's a tier 1 lava lux in the gift sub
blitz,
roll.
even I feel that way.
Resub Vera.
But the easiest thing to do here, if you ever get scared, by the way, is to just do this. You will never, ever, ever lose knight versus 5 pawns. Worst comes to worst, you go and get this pawn and you make a new queen.
Okay, makes sense.
So if you want to like just have a final,
He's a big tier 2 Kenshin.
just simplify
Prime
it.
Reign.
Don't even. What's the only way, for example? What's the only way white can lose this position right now? Back rank mate.
Yeah, so you just have to make sure he doesn't get to the G file.
Yes, and I suppose, you could say you would lose on time. Yes, but position. I mean, if you hang your queen by accident, you might still be winning because you have so many pawns. So here, couple of things. Number 1, early H pawn attack, especially when the opponent plays G6 and bishop G7. So like this fianchetto. Fian is what this is called.
Thanks,
The
Resub
fancy
flying.
Italian word. This bishop G7. You can use this H pawn attack. If they stop it, the next lesson of the game was the opposite side castling. And then opening up the position, you wanted to go G4, you saw bang, 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 but you can even do it with one move. And once you find this move, it's all over. Like, it's actually crazy how strong and fast this attack is for white. And you just look for the 1 pawn break. For example, if black hadn't gone here, if black just continued on this side, this is the pawn break, right? We would have gone h5 and...
Yeah, there's not a whole lot they can do from that position.
It's terrible. Just completely lost. Even if we're losing, the pawn, because we're just opening it all up. And bishop is like this. Just bishop h6. Right? Pretty self-explanatory. You told me earlier you wanted to stack versus the bishop on the king. You can also, if you want, bring in the queen. Black's attack is not fast enough. There's nothing over here. So this. Black just doesn't have any time. Bishop is coming. Queen comes in. And it's game over. And that's kind of like, I have 4 examples. So we'll take a look at like each one. Here, let me invite you to the next one. And just look at this mix of using the pawns, how the king is positioned. Sometimes the king is in the middle, sometimes it's not. This game I had white, it was a Sicilian defense, and I played b3. So you've probably This might be your worst nightmare if you play the dragon, because with black, don't you go g6 bishop g7?
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh well, I
god.
do a knight before that, but yeah.
Yeah, like knight. Man, if I play you, I'm gonna put my bishop here and not let you do that.
I saw that. This happened to me once because I autopilot these openings a lot. Someone did the
Uh-huh.
same shit and just blasted the bishop, and I had nothing to do to stop it.
I really like this b3 system.
Thanks
Not
to
not
some
to
Parrot
cheese
and
someone.
Moses.
Like sometimes that is nice, especially if they're playing too fast. But it's a very unique way to play the position. And opponent put the knight out early, so I attacked it a few times, and he played g6. I played again. You see this h4, 2 games.
Thanks to the
See, I
5
see
gift
he's
subs,
going
Rafa.
g6 bishop g7, and then I'm trying to get him like this. Why am I able to do this? Like, how can I push so many pawns in front of my king? Well, look at his pieces. Like, are we really gonna say that any of his pieces are out?
Yeah, it makes sense.
No, right? Not really. So go h5. He plays it again. Okay. White to move. Make a threat. We only have one
I'd
way.
start with
Yeah.
that.
Nice. Very nice. So if given the option, which one of these 2 pawns are you going to take?
It would be the right pawn, right, for check to
Yes.
get the king out, stop castling.
Yes. Oops, that's not what was played. Yes, I accidentally clicked that square. Yeah, of course you got to go this way, because if you go this way, they just take you activate their pieces. Right? So you got to go pawn takes f7. Exactly. The other thing is when a pawn moves up, you're playing a lot of
Thanks to
3-minute
the
right now,
average.
so you're not going to be able to sit there with your glass of wine and go, oh, h5 is destabilizing the light squares. You're just going to be a little bit more on autopilot trying to create threats. But when h5 happens, g6 gets destabilized. Now the only thing protecting g6 is the f7 pawn. And when you go here and create this and this, it's a big problem for black. So my opponent goes here. So with this newfound weakness on g6, what do we do?
Probably attack it in the quickest way, right? So you'd go maybe getting the bishop over to d3, maybe?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Bishop d3. You don't need to deal with this. Give it away. This is far more valuable. So bishop d3. Okay. Had the opponent gone rook g8, how good are your tactics? White to move and win. A couple of moves, a little combination here. This actually is an illusion that this is protected.
I think I see. It's bringing the queen over h5. Oh, no, it's not pinned. He just takes.
You have everything. You have the right idea. Just do it in the right order.
It's bishop first, then queen.
Yep. Exactly. So I'm glad you saw this. You saw g6, h5. They're both in the sights. This is the first move you have to check, period. And then you realize the king cannot guard the rook because of your pawn.
Yeah.
So you just pick up the rook, and you have to win this game. But, I mean, hey, bam, bam, bam. Like, who's going to stop you from even making a queen, by the way?
That's big right there, yeah.
I know.
That's another thing I struggle with is the order. Like, I saw the queen move, but then I would have just given away the queen. I don't know why, I just can't get the order right half the time.
The rook just moved.
Yeah.
So, if this rook wasn't here, period, this would just be mate. So, obviously, you see this, and I wouldn't say you didn't get the order right. I think when I was playing this game, I
Thanks
also
to Makashi and Robo.
You have like a 3-second, 4-second period where you're just like, wait, I could take one. Oh, I got to take this. This has no guard, and then I go here. So, but that comes with, that comes with time.
You're the prime llama.
When I played bishop d3, I was like, wait a second, this guy's just completely lost. So he took my pawn, and I took, and he went here. Okay. King goes to the middle. It looks nice and cozy. White to move. Don't take your foot off the gas. And just like last game, we had the critical pawn break that made the position open in our favor. White to move, pawn break, open it up.
Yeah, it's going in the center, right, at d4.
Yes. Very nice. So you might be thinking like, well, I don't have any checks. Let me just get my pieces out. No, it's got to be d4. Don't take your foot off the gas. They can't take, actually. If they take, like, all the way down, it's over. It's game over. they have to block, and then you take, and you're up a knight, and you, like I said, you still have to win, but like I always say, if I'm giving you an extra knight by move 13, like I did my job, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
After that, it's totally in your hands. So d4, yes, absolutely. You see the queen, the king, you got to open it up. Knight e8 got played, and take. Now in this position, I actually did something wrong. So this is, and I want to show this. Not, I don't only want to show things where I'm like, oh, look at me, I'm so smart and clever. My logic here was that if I took the queen, he has to take with the king because he has to guard his knight.
Mm-hmm.
If he took with the knight, then we would take. Oops. Then we would take this knight.
The knight's free, yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm gonna get to this position. I'm very happy.
Thanks to resub Reno.
But then I kind of took my foot off the gas. Like the queen was the big attacking piece. And when we trade the queen, we now get a position where white is a lot better. Why? Well, that system. White is up a pawn. Black's king is terrible. Black's pieces are terrible. But a few moves later, like my opponent managed to consolidate and get the right trades and actually stabilize the position. So I missed a really big chance right here. Bishop d7, king d8. How do you add something here as fast as possible? Help the rook, but it has to be ASAP.
I feel like the only piece that gets there fast enough is bringing the knight into the play at b5. But that doesn't really get it there.
Yeah, it's like knight b5, of course, is good. But when I think knight b5, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think knight b5?
I was looking more of like going for, just like anticipating a castle and looking for an attack when he castles, since it seems like that's going to be the next move. But
yeah, well, remember he has to like castle by hand, right?
Oh, like, right, yeah.
But I'm assuming this is what you meant. You were like king c8, a6, try to get the king to safety. I'll tell you what I think. I'm not thinking of myself when I play knight b5. I'm thinking, what are they going to do when they see my knight? They're going to go here. Like when you play knight b5, you don't have an immediate threat. So the first thing I think of is, what if they just attack me? Like, what if, just call my bluff? And now you just got to go back to the middle, which is fine. It's not a blunder by any stretch of the imagination, but I do want you to be thinking about this, especially in like a PogChamps, like a 10-minute. You want to make a move, but what if they just call me on my shit when I get to b5? So I want help on the d file, which means we got to get this rook some help, which means I didn't see this. I completely missed this. But
shit. Is it bringing the bishop down to like e4 to look to attack the knight nearby? Not that I think that really helps on the d file, but that's all I'm seeing. Bringing the bishop up?
It's a weird one. How do we get the second rook in the game?
Oh, do we do a rook lift?
Ah, yes.
Oh, okay.
How?
Do you just bring it up to h3 and then across?
I know, yeah. It's the weirdest thing ever. It's like normally it's this way and that way, but it's this way.
Okay.
Because
right.
Traditionally your brain is like 1, 2, 3, right?
Yeah.
That's how we get the knight out and everything. But no, it's even faster. And if I had found this, the game would have been significantly easier. We could have won it much faster than I did. And what's funny is that, how does black stop us? Like, black has to go king c7. Doesn't that just walk into our other idea?
Yeah, and that's when we bring the knight up.
Yeah, this is terrible. Like, black is just getting rolled here with the double. And sometimes you can trade the queen as long as you have more attacking pieces in the game. But I think that objectively speaking, trading the queen is probably not the right idea. Like, you have the wild card, so just move it. And then finish your development. Maybe move it out of the way of like a knight d4 or something. Make sure that it can't get hit with the knight somehow. But trading the queen when you're attacking is not the most desirable thing. Here we can kind of see why.
Yeah.
And yes, people are I gave a warning to the chat before we started the lesson to keep backseating to a minimum, otherwise they would get called out on it. But yes, folks are like, you can go knight b8. And I mean, if you have to play this move on move 16 to defend yourself, that's kind of the end of the lesson. Good luck and good night. You have 3 pieces on this side which can't move. This is, like I always say, we have to win. We still have to win the game. It's not over, but it's just about as close as possible. So that's as far as that goes. But in the opening, only possible if we find the break and then we find the immediate attack on the weakened spot. There's always this lurking tactic. And in game flow, seeing this king come to d7 and going, oh, I gotta open the board here. Like the first thing I thought is king is on the same file as my queen. I have to open up my queen. So you have to go d4. It's not, don't even think. And then knight c3, knight f3, etc. I got 2 more for you.
Run it.
Any questions so far?
No, it all makes sense. Absolutely.
Yes, in a game, of course, this is 3 minutes, so it's not going to be perfect. This one is the opening of this game is pretty stupid, so please disregard. I mouse slipped very early. I meant to play e4. I played e3, so then I went I went full stupid. But here's another game, by the way. We have this h4, h5.
Nice. The signature.
He really didn't like me playing this h5 move. But okay, I guess I can even pause right here. What is this? Move 9 is coming up for white. Why is this position slightly better for white? Based on what?
My guess would be that he's weakened his kingside pawn structure here. I feel like there's some attacking options. Like if you can get like the queen to move, you can start looking to get onto the 7th rank there.
You're absolutely right. There's a lot of weak spots near the king. If you castle kingside, 7 of black's pawns are on light squares. Really? Like, all we gotta do is get this dark squared bishop out, and it's like Swiss cheese. All of these weaknesses. Plus, what is this? Like, why is the queen there? Like, I know it doesn't, like, we don't have a move to immediately attack the queen, but where is this knight going if all of its natural spots are blocked?
Yeah, I can only really go to the rim.
And if it goes here, well, I mean, if it can't come back, because we'll take the pawn, because the knight gets in the way of the queen. Very clumsy position. So, again, you can go you can go slow development, but I played f3. Now, only move is bishop f5. How do we hit the bishop again?
You just push the pawn again, right?
Yes. So e4. Take. Now, this is supported by both horses, so the bishop has to go back to g4. When we made this trade, what opened for black?
The F file.
I guess for us, the F file opened, I would say.
Oh, right. For black. Oh, there's now a hanging pawn on d4 there.
Good. So that's important to notice, which is why I played bishop e3. Just gotta develop a piece and defend the center. I could have, in this position, also played e5, attacking the knight. Computer laughs in my face, tells me that's the best move after the game, but, it's a give and take. It's a 3-minute game, can't always be super perfect. So bishop g7, and now I did go e5 indeed, because the knight has to get out. So first things first, we took. Why? Because this rook is on a terrible square now, and can black castle?
Nope.
No, I cannot castle. Right, so rook h7.
Thanks to the resub Candyman.
Bishop e2, wanted to get this bishop away. Bishop f5, castles. And I want to play the move d5, but I played the move bishop d3. Why is this trade good for white? This just conceptual trade of getting these bishops off the board.
Just from a positional standpoint, you take back with the rook and you still put pressure on where you want to go at d5, I guess, would be my thought.
That is, I would say, I'd give that full credit. I like that. I like that.
All
I
right.
think just on a very very simple note, we don't even need to be like too big brain about this. This bishop is Black's most powerful piece. It's the only piece that Black has that's really doing anything.
Okay,
And
makes sense.
best piece is a stretch. I wouldn't. It's like the best of the worst kind of. So you go bishop d3, and you just get rid of it. Now Black has no active pieces whatsoever. So I want to go d5 again. It's a move that I really want to play. However, who is on the end of the c file? These two pieces.
Yeah. You put yourself in check at the end of the exchanges.
I want to take with the knight maybe, and my king is pinned, so I play king b1. Slow move. Again, this is, remember the first example? We played this move,
Thanks a
king
bit,
b1?
Storm.
So, 2 examples ago, the queen was out, lurking on the queen side, hitting our pawn. And before we destroyed on the king side, we just throw in the move king b1. We play king b1. It gets the queen kind of off the same line of our king. And now Black is actually playing a decent move, bishop h6, trying to trade off one of my attackers. So, knight e2, reroute, another concept. Have you heard of rerouting?
Yep.
So we're trying to we're not going to make forward progress. I want my knight to end up on this side of the board, and the constant kind of lurking pressure of one move and one move in particular makes this position basically unguardable, undefendable, if that's a word for Black. And what move is that? Three examples now.
Yeah, is it just pushing the G pawn?
So if to which square?
Oh, no, that wouldn't work. I was looking at G4, but that's not going to work.
Okay, so idea is an idea. G4 doesn't work, but where is it?
It's just going back to the middle there at D5.
Exactly. King is in the middle. See, like, these flank pawn pushes G4 are really good if the king is there. But king's here. D5 is game. Oh, that sounded like wind howling.
Oh,
that
that was my dog. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was either a fire truck or wind. That was
No.
oh, that was the husky. Jesus. Okay, take, queen b6. Hey, layered learning. We build on the previous example. You gonna take that queen?
No, we don't want to because we're using her to attack, right?
Yeah, so where are we gonna put it? What's the best square for the queen? There's a couple of squares which are good. I actually didn't play the best move, but I want to see what you think. Where should you put the queen?
It should still be something to reinforce D5, right? So it'd need to be something like F3.
F3 is reasonable. It doesn't have to necessarily reinforce, because if you come in with the knight, you're also happy.
Oh, true. It still attacks the queen.
Still got a lot of F3. I went to C3 because I didn't want the rook to get to C8, but it's not even the best move. How do you can infiltrate with the queen? How do we infiltrate with the queen?
Oh, is it by trying to get her to like G3 here and push up that way?
Yes, to
Okay.
G8. Yes, and I didn't play that because
Thanks to Prime Bolt.
I'm a human, but you're gonna get this exact same position in PogChamps. You'll play Queen G3, Queen G8, and the queen's just paralyzing everybody there. It's just nothing that Black can do. Throw in the queen and it's all good. Queen C3 also good. Knight G6, and now we transform our attack into a winning endgame. Not all attacks have to end in mate. Some attacks can end just winning material or just converting to a better position. And now, question for you. Would you take here or would you push?
Taking there has the advantage of opening the D file. Like if you push, you close down the rook's attack up there. So I feel like taking is the right play, even though he takes it back with queen.
Very good. It's good that your first instinct taking is 100% right, because if you push the pawn, the drawback, like on the one hand, you're like, ooh, 2 more squares, I get a queen. I mean, Black's gonna go here. Like, let's be serious. And then Black is gonna go here and guard everybody, and suddenly your task is significantly harder. You're only going to win this game by virtue of the C file, if that makes sense. Because how else are you ever breaking in?
Yeah, everything else is shut down.
Yeah, and then maybe you can go G4, and if this takes, you shred this open, and if that takes, you open F. But too much, too much, too much. Your first instinct is 100% right. As unnatural as that might look, taking is the best move, because if they take with the queen, like you said, the rook comes in and takes everything. And the opponent spent kind of the rest of the game trying to deal with this. I traded one rook, made sure, again, see, even in the middle of the attack, that my king always has a getaway. And then I had to find, in low time, obviously, how to finish this off. What is one thing that you are always trying to avoid falling into in this position? Since you can't get mated anymore, what's one thing you might accidentally blunder?
You might put your king on the same row as the rook or the queen, giving it up on a check.
Yes, you can get skewered, and if you
Thanks to
abandon
Reset
your king
Buffalo.
entirely, you might get perpetualed. So, for
Yeah.
instance, queen d6, as good as that looks, it looks like, oh, that's it. It abandons the c4 square, and now the game is a draw. Because if you play b3, I have queen c2, bam, 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 draw. King's only getaway is how?
He has to drop back to A1, but then you just
Yes.
deliver a check at F1. It's just back and forth, or not even
Exactly.
F1, but wherever.
Oh, as close as possible. I'm not doing the 6 feet thing. And then there's queen f1, even this, so you're gonna have to run your king out, or I use this check and I even take the pawn. All of a sudden, it's like, whoops, how did that happen? So be very careful. Like you can get a totally winning position. Like chess is like that. 37 moves you've played, 36, winning, one move draw, and that's why you've always got to make sure that there's a distance for your king. You have breathing room, and you're finding a way. And ultimately, what ended up happening was this position. Opponent played this move, threatening my pawn. White to move and win. A finishing touch here. Guard your a4 pawn, but also play a move that wins the game.
The only move that does both is taking on A5, right? And then you come up.
Oh, a5 is taking on a5 is a good move, but you have even better.
Pushing the pawn to defend it doesn't.
Too beta.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
I want you to be an alpha. Use the hierarchy. Checks, captures, attacks. Once you get to attacks, you will realize what it is. Then you go down, like, attacking black's most powerful pieces. Do I have a way to attack black's queen?
Oh, just driving the queen away with bringing the rook down? Is that that's the
Yes.
order? I see.
Yes. So you look at, do I have any checks? You found the capture. This might be the easy blitz move. Not wrong, but does go away from c4. Could get yourself into a little trouble, but you'll have to be brave and go up. And now there's no checks.
Okay.
But are you brave is the question.
A resounding no.
Yeah, king a3, you're like, oh, I'm not gonna, one blunder is all it takes, and now it's just a draw. Like, so be very, sometimes it's the weird up king move, and now there's no checks. That's what you're asking yourself. Earlier, it was the knight move. They can attack us with the pawn. You want to go b3, but then go, what are they gonna do? Oh, they're gonna check me, so I can't go b3. I have to go king a3, and now they have no checks.
Right.
So good.
And bringing the rook down to drive the queen away lets you just take the rook above it. Yeah.
Exactly. So when the opponent went here, I was like, wait a minute, I have rook d4. When I'm playing my games, I'm not actively thinking like, well, how do I check, capture, attack? Those moves will start coming automatically to you, just as hypotheticals. You'll be looking at a board and your brain's going to be like, you could go here. And then you're going to go, oh, wait, that's just winning. Because I hit this, and there's no way for the queen to guard the rook.
Yep, so queen has to go back. You take the rook, it's a check. Then you bring rook up, d8. Could be a mate depending on where they went. Yeah, I see.
Queen here, you take the rook. If the king comes out, it's a couple of different mates. Check or check, and then bring that. So another, oh, this is actually a really good one. You notice you can go like rook d7, right? And
yeah.
What's the problem with the move rook d7? Little bit of a trick question, but really more conceptually than like a move response. It's slow. it
Oh.
gives black a move,
Oh, okay.
right?
Yeah, he just pushes out the pawn, right? Give himself another square.
I'm even thinking more aggressive than giving yourself squares. I'm thinking check.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, you almost blunder a draw here. You almost blunder a draw. You're very lucky your rook still covers. You know, like you're
Okay.
gonna have a game where you go slow and you blunder a perpetual, and then you want to throw your computer out of a window. So, how do you do this in a more forcing way rather than rook d7 when it's not a check?
Yeah, it's going to f8, right?
Exactly. G5 or f8. King goes now. They have to lose their queen. Now your only task is don't stalemate. So, you're experienced enough. And this is just, this is easy. So I just don't want you to be like, all right, queen e7 rook, bam, easy. I want you to think check, check, check. Don't let black even kind of get a moment to get back into this game. So again, lessons from this one. Go all the way back to the opening. The pawn play to take space, right? And then trading off our opponent's most active piece. Still looking for that pawn break. The one important pawn break to open up the whole position. Don't trade queens. Trading a piece or two is not bad. And I was most impressed that your first instinct here was to open up the rook. Because I thought you were going to say push the pawn and make a queen. And you just said,
I'm way above that level now.
I like it. You just like, d6 and easy. d6. And it makes the game so much easier. You open it up. You get your rooks in the game. And then make the luft for your king. And always be monitoring whether or not you can get hit with some sort of check or like loop where you will get caught with a perpetual.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. I mean, that's for the last one.
Real quick, let me use the bathroom. I'll be right
Sure.
back.
Dissect everything. Take a pause.
And don't worry, I see what's going on in chat. Real fucking embarrassing stuff to even glance over at. Thanks to the gift sub Dorm and resub Frunio.
Charlie.
The two gift subs again,
Chat
Huddy.
entertain. How we doing?
Hopefully, an ad will make children go away.
We got a
We'll
copy. Oh, someone popped that copy pasta into my chat. That's very funny. There was somebody who. That's very. Guys are hilarious. I had a feeling. I had a feeling. Yo, who's gonna win the Super Bowl? Damn that that moist the pastas in the moist chat is really Also, listen, I gotta give mad love to the moist critical community because they've welcomed me, not as a side piece. You know what I mean? Because it's been a nice and loyal and pleasant relationship with Mr. Neraditsky. I've been welcomed as a main piece, equivalent on the same level. Oh, never mind. Lethal Destiny said no, fuck off. Okay, well that
Castany?
That was short-lived.
Yeah, I know, Fluster's fucking rough.
It's rough.
Alright, I'm back, baby.
Hey. All right. Oh, I did it. I did in fact invite you. Let's go.
Thanks to Risa
Here we go.
BG plays in Mauro.
E4. Same game with the white pieces. This one, slightly different Sicilian. Now, what do you think is going to happen at this point? What pawn am I going to push? Three times it's happened. G6. It's got to be this one. Got to go for some H4s.
Christ, I have to do this.
Got to go for some H4s. Of course, opponent does this.
What a dog shit chat
this
today.
position. Now, I've castled. He is not castled. What do we want to do to the center?
Open it up.
All right, so how are we going to open it up?
I think you just start by taking on d5, right?
You absolutely 100% start by taking on d5. So, opponent takes back with the pawn. Now, if the opponent gets one more move, they are going to castle. So, for example, if you play rook e1 and you're like, oh, I'm so clever, I'm pinning the knight to the king, then I'm going to go here.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to castle, and you're going to go, oh, yeah, they could do that. So, after takes, what's another forcing move that you have? Use the hierarchy. No checks. We don't have a check, but we have some other stuff.
Checks. You can... I mean, there's a hanging pawn on b5.
Guarded. Careful.
Oh, he moved the rook. You're right.
That was, it's
okay.
interesting. It's a refined idea by black. Rook b8, b5.
Okay, yeah, I didn't even notice. All right,
Even hypothetical captures. Knight b5 is bad because they take with the rook. We don't get anything specific. But what else can we take?
I guess you can just immediately take that pawn and then recapture with bishop.
I think, it might have been our lesson last week where I said, you don't need to go to you don't need to go to the end of the trade, right?
Yeah.
You don't need to go to the end, but you can start with this or this, right? But let's start with this hypothetically. So this comes here, this comes here. So now we've got this, but we also, at the end, we see all that.
Right.
We don't need to take this now. And if we give a check, what's going to happen? They have another knight.
Yeah, he's just going to block with the knight.
He's going to block with the knight, kind of hold it all together. He's not going to move this knight because f7 is on the other side. He wants to close this diagonal. So, we have an even more forcing move here. And let me just show you one more thing. If queen to f3, this move looks like it just wins. Because, look, bam, 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 bam. But how does black guard the two biggest problem spots?
He just puts the bishop in the middle at e5, or e6.
Yes, very good. Bishop e6, as scummy as this looks, it does hold it all together. It just holds it all together. Bishop e6 holds everybody. So you need to be faster than that. So you go knight takes f7. We sack two knights. Okay. They take. Now what's our most forcing move?
Is it delivering that check now with the queen at f3?
So we hit these two pieces. Opponent can't really run this way because we take with check and then we win back our other knight. So we immediately cash out on our investment. We get both knights.
Mm-hmm.
And we're winning because we sacked a couple pawns. We got some pawns when we were sacrificing, but now we play queen f3. However, in the game, the opponent felt brave.
Makes the resub cheese
as
and
I like
TB
to
in the
say.
prime.
King e6, very brave move. Super brave. So what's the first thing you think of? You see king e6. What's the first thing you think of?
E1 right away is the first thing I think of.
Yes, it was the first thing I thought of too. It turns out that it's not even the best move because I hate computers. But but of course you think rook e1. I mean, it must be the best move. Opponent blocks. So when you see knight e5, what are you thinking?
So I was looking at bringing the bishop over to f4 there.
Yes.
Attacking that. The knight can't take because it's pinned.
So bishop f4, definitely. I'm also thinking bishop g5. I ended up playing bishop g5, but both moves are 100% right. Are you worried about this?
Nope, because it can't attack because the rook is pinning it.
Good. So that was bait. I'm sorry. I want to apologize. I was setting a verbal trap. I wanted you to go, I got to move my queen. No, you don't. Right?
Makes it
No, you
tier
don't.
1.
You could just keep developing.
Kalia.
So bishop g5. Opponent should play queen up. Just hold on for dear life to everybody. But opponent plays rook f8, which is actually not a bad move. They want this and this.
Okay.
So that's what they want. They want to, and you'll say, well, hold on, rook f3, gf3. I'm good. Yeah, but hold on a second. We sacked 2 knights. Remember? Like, you might think, oh, I get a rook. I'm so clever. It's a free rook. No. We gave away 2 knights. Like, let's not forget about that. So we don't. Do we want a queen trade? No. So where are we gonna move the queen? What's the best queen move we have?
Well, I was looking at delivering the check at h3, but then once he gets out of the way, it's still under attack from the bishop, so that's not going to work.
Nice. See, everyone here would go, okay, queen h3. They would say queen h3, king moves, I take queen. I'm so smart. But you, very nice, dude. Very, very nice. So if you're not going to go queen h3, what are you going to do?
I guess you could. G3 doesn't seem horrible if you drop the bishop back after the attack. Maybe just putting more pressure on that. But I don't think that's the move.
So queen g3 is good. Oop, Jesus, I'm garbage arrow drawer. Queen
Thanks to
g3 looks
Resub
good.
Hope and Naofumi.
You have a way to create a threat on this pawn. Because this pawn's actually not guarded.
I see. It's just bringing it up to e4.
Yes, what's hidden in all this is there is one weak link. Like, this move doesn't look like it accomplishes anything on its own. But there's 2 threats to queen e4. First of all, this is a threat. Because they cannot take because of the pin. If the queen gets in here, it's over. This is now a new, of course, a threat. And when the queen moves out to e, where can this f pawn go?
You can just push it up to f4, win the knight.
Yes. So combination of piece play, pawn targets, and all this. This position is lost. Now, what's in the game? The opponent played c4 and tragically lost their queen.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and then I just took the pawn and they resigned. But had they defended the queen, so like let's say they played queen d6, maybe not queen d6, queen d7. Let's say queen d6, sure. Okay, I want you to win this against me. I want you to use everything that we just talked about. What's next for white?
I think we take the knight first, because if I take the pawn right now, you drop it back, you still defend the queen, and we just trade queens.
You're saying queen g6, I would have played king d7?
Yeah, because, I mean, you still defend the queen if I take.
You're right about the queen, but what am I not defending?
The knights. I just take the knights.
No,
wait,
not the knights. Well, there's someone else.
Oh, the bishop. The bishop.
See, actually, queen g6, but that is how a chess thought process works. You go, I'm not gonna go here because, but wait a second, do I have to take the queen? f4 still very strong, obviously. That was the backup plan. Okay, I'll play rook f5, hanging on for dear life here.
Okay.
Take with the. You want a queen trade?
No, this is our main attacker right now. So,
what are you gonna do?
It doesn't work. So I have to do a queen move. Anything else, and we trade queens, or I guess not necessarily. I don't know. I don't know how I get out of this position without trading queens. I mean, no matter what, I come up on top of material here, but I definitely don't see where I go to not trade queens. Well, I mean,
What about
I guess if I start here, you can't take back with the queen.
good? So you found the check. Very nice. So bishop takes d5. The only issue is that after this, it's very it's very kind of cramped, right?
Yeah.
It's very cramped. So now let me ask you a question. This is very difficult, very tricky position. So of course you see bishop takes knight,
Right.
but you also say you have to make a queen move.
You've come. Friend,
Hey, thank you for the raid, Anna.
the door
So
of fate shall
combine.
Oh, I take with the
Been
queen instead of the
waiting for
bishop.
you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then
okay.
where do I? And then now where will I move?
You only really have one spot to go, which is f7, right?
Nope. Oops. Nope. It's mate.
Oh, it's covered. Oh, I see.
Mate.
You're right. Oh, I see now.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that was mate.
Yeah. It's a very weird mate. I gotta tell you.
Okay,
So-
that makes sense.
It's
Hey, thanks for the raid.
it's
I
a
really
very,
appreciate
very-
it. Thanks to Prime RK.
very strange checkmate.
Oh,
Definitely
okay.
one of the weirder ones, but it's just funny. Like, I played Queen E5 and my logic was, is he gonna go here? Your logic was, hell no, I'm not trading, but what the hell am I gonna do? And if you get to this position, I don't want you desperately thinking you can't queen trade, because at this point you have to.
Yeah, there's really not a whole lot else to do there.
And then, if you trade, they take with the bishop. You'll probably play bishop E4. Because
There's a
the
tier 1
bishop is
pseudo in the
hanging
recent
now.
retrack.
They might move their rook. And then we play a chess game. We're only up one pawn. But it's just funny, like, that this is even possible. And it's good that you were aware of the pawn idea. It's going to start kind of coming naturally. Like, oh, queen, knight, king. I
Yeah.
have this f4 idea. And I have this.
The pawn idea is much better, though. Just taking this and then winning bishop, I think, is a lot more conducive to the attack.
Well, let me ask you from a logical standpoint then. I don't want to lose my bishop and I want to stop check. What am I going to do?
You're just gonna block with the rook, I think, right? Or the bishop.
Yeah, exactly. My
And then
bishop.
you
You
attack by rook.
this is so ridiculous, man. Like, the most absurd defense of the king ever. But if we work this out logically, bishop takes bishop. Black can only take with what?
Rook.
Rook. It's literally not legal to take with the other pieces. So where can we hit the king now?
Now we have the back rank there, so we can hit it e8.
Yes, two of these two. I mean, queen e8, of course, better, because queen e7, we take what?
We take the knight first, right?
Which knight?
We take the,
They're both good.
yeah, it doesn't matter?
I think rook e5 is more forcing, because if we take this one, they can theoretically still go here.
Okay, so then taking the e5, okay.
Yeah, then we can take on
Thanks for
e5.
the gift sub, Gabba, and I'm sorry
be
about
careful.
the...
This is still guarded, so we need one more. We have to bring in the rook.
Yeah, okay.
We have to bring in the rook, and then we would take... Yeah, but it's a very strange position where black is just totally surrounded by pieces, and you can chip and find the right checks. You can trade pieces. You don't always need to not trade pieces, but you have to trade them in the right way. And this case, yeah, there's a lot of these little kind of infusions. Some pawn play, some piece play.
So now, when from this position, when he blocks with the bishop, could you then do the pawn idea, just push up f4 and attack that way?
F4 does seem very natural. Yes.
Okay.
I definitely like f4. I think the only drawback here, I know the drawback. The drawback is that black has a king move. So now something is a threat. That wasn't a threat anymore. Do you see it in all of this chaos?
Let's see. By dropping back, the knights are no longer pinned, so he can just take that pawn.
He could take something much more
Oh,
valuable
the
than a
queen.
pawn.
The queen.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
that's
yeah, that makes sense now. Oh, I get it.
you could go here, but now they're opening up like you're still down a knight,
Yeah,
so maybe you'll play like queen e4, and it can still work. But then I can check you. The position's opening up in a disadvantageous way for you.
got it. Okay.
Yes. So still, if you played f4 in a game, there's probably a very high chance you win it. Because I really doubt your opponent goes here. Like, I think it's much more likely the opponent goes, I really don't like this pin, c4, and now just loses immediately.
Okay.
Right? So,
Sounds
like,
good.
so there's a difference between being perfect and being perfectly practical. You don't need to play the top engine move. And actually, oftentimes, have you had games you play really well? You go look at the engine,
Yeah.
and the engine's like, you're a moron. You played 30%.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah. So you don't need to play perfect chess. Like the computer's gonna be like, that move is bad because of this nuanced
It was
idea
terrible
7
spamming
moves
that
down the
I
line.
put
You're
on the
like,
sub only
dude,
mode. And I hate
fuck
that
off.
shit.
Like what? I mean, come on. It's just I've had games like that too. I get like a 65 and I'm like, what? I thought I played so well. Let's just review
Here.
some
Maybe they
of
left
the
now.
openings from last week, and then
I'm sorry about that, but thank you for the raid.
we can call it. And I want you to get to like a 65% win rate with white, basically, with your openings.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's just what I want. So, all right, go ahead. E5.
Thanks for the prime kick. And good shit, Fluster.
First of all, against this, do you remember what to do?
Yeah, I play this every time.
How's it been going?
Pretty well. So 100% of the time they take, I push knight, and then we just play from there.
Oh, you're saying most of your games they take?
There hasn't been a single game where they haven't.
Yo, listen up, 900s, yo. Oh, terrible, man. All right, okay. Knight g8.
And then usually from here I bring this out to prevent the queen check. Good.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
How are you doing? You winning these games?
Most of the time, yeah. So since a lot of them are 3 minutes, I'll either lose on time or at some point along the way I fall apart if I lose. But I like the position a lot. And then from here, most people push this out. And then I usually take, but is it better to just like play this move to reinforce the middle?
Yeah, keeping the tension.
Okay.
So if they take, I actually think taking with the pawn is the best.
Okay.
Because again, we don't like that. And then take, even go long if you want.
Okay, that makes sense.
Just go long. So this is move 6 and it's +4 for white. So again, I did my job. Now you have to do your job, and the job
Right.
gets done. It's really funny that they take. Against knight c6, I did notice you were not punishing the copycat. So knight c6, let's
Yeah.
review this.
I definitely need to go over this. So when they copy here, I need to figure out like the right way of doing this.
Yeah, you only play d3 f4 when they play knight f6 or, d6
Mm-hmm.
or bishop e7. But if they copy you, do you remember the move at least or no?
No, I don't. You're gonna have to just give me that review.
All right, queen g4. Just going to tell you right now. You got to go queen g4 when they copy you. So play it.
Okay.
What's the threat?
We're attacking a hanging piece over there at the G7. We're also looking for potential like scholar's mate here at F7 at some point, perhaps.
Right. So the first thing we have to memorize is queen f6.
Mm-hmm.
Now here they attack us on f2. This should trigger your memory.
Yeah.
Don't guard this.
Yeah. It's not developing the knight, right? Is it bringing the knight out? No. Oh, I don't remember, man. Fuck.
Hit the queen.
Is it?
Hit it.
Is it bringing the knight out at D5?
To d5, yep.
Oh, okay, it is. All right.
Go ahead. Now, the threat is this and this.
Mm-hmm.
So queen takes f2.
I just go back.
Yeah, you have no choice.
Yeah.
At least this one is easy to remember.
Yeah.
This one. Okay, I hope someone does this against you and hangs their queen. I actually would be willing to bet money if you play queen
Thanks,
g4
Resub
this week,
Scott.
someone will play queen f1, especially in a
Okay.
3-minute game. And then you're gonna take it, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, wow, okay." There you go. So after king d1, this is still a threat and this is still a threat. At this point, you're combining 3 ideas. 3 ideas. Number 1, trap the queen. Do you remember how to trap the queen? How do you attack the queen, first of all, when it gets here?
Is it bringing the knight over to h3?
Exactly.
Okay.
That's exactly right. If they hit your queen, it depends what they hit your queen with. If it's with the knight, you could take the queen and then take the knight, if you see that.
Okay, that looks nice.
So, yeah, you just win a piece. Again, I did my job, you got to do your job, and you'll win. If they
It's
go
reset
h5,
reflective.
this is a little bit worse, because it's just for a pawn. It's not that great. Just slide the queen up. Because, to be honest, where else are you going to go? Every other move is a queen trade.
Okay, makes sense.
And that hangs a queen. So don't do that. This is also a queen trade. Right, so queen g5, and if they attack you like this, you can keep going. You can keep going. If they go rook, kind of funny. You want to take the queen,
Okay.
but this is hitting you here. Now, you would think the easiest thing to do here is to go queen takes h6.
But it's not?
Well, if queen takes h6, you're like, bam, they take me. But yeah, I don't think you're ever going to get this, but just to show you
Oh.
kind of the length of the variation, like this is how memorizing theory goes. There's an absolutely savage move in this position. If you you land this in a game, I don't know, I'll gift you 1,000 subs or something. So there you go. If you get rook h6, if you get this whole variation, and remember the move knight e7, which is easily the most gangster move of chess ever. The knight is hanging 4 different ways, and it cannot be taken because queen f7.
Oh shit, okay, I see.
Yes,
That's
if they
pretty
take your
cool.
queen, check, and then you take the queen.
Wow, Jesus Christ. Alright,
Yeah.
that's pretty okay, that's pretty intense, but that relies on the rook coming out, right?
It relies on h5, it relies on f6, it relies on rook h6. Yeah.
Okay.
So 3 things have to happen. First of all, you have to get this line, and then they have to be clever enough to hit you 2 times with a pawn, and then once with the rook. But if you remember knight e7, yeah, that might be, if you actually get this, that would be completely legendary. And then I can make a video. This move cost me $5,000. Okay.
I see, that's a good plan.
I'll donate to the Church of Moist. So, or I'll say the Temple of Moist. I don't want anybody to feel excluded.
Oh, of course, of course.
So this is, yeah, we go for knight h3, and if the queen goes to the middle, we just glue this shut and go here.
Okay, nice, that's easy.
This is easier to remember. You just have to not hang your queen. That is my only request. Your queen,
Thanks,
just monitor it.
Anaviv. I think it's Azazel.
You play this a few times. Maybe you blunder, you review it, and then you never blunder it again, and you'll win all the rest of your games. So, but this line is a lot of fun. And if they play g6, somebody in my chat said literally nobody plays queen f6, everybody goes g6. Create the scholar's mate threat.
Okay, so just bring it back down to f3.
Yep. Go ahead.
Oh, right.
Queen f3. So first of all, you remember this from last time. I'll say people will hit you with this, and you mate them.
Yeah.
I guarantee that happens. If they play queen f6, you don't take. You still go knight d5.
Okay, easy enough.
And then if take, still creating this threat, and then get developed. This one's a bit more boring. You know, you'll have to just play chess here, but white is a little bit better. And then perhaps the like this one, this is hard to memorize. Knight f6. Now, knight d4 is a problem.
Yeah, it doesn't hang scholars or the mate anymore.
Exactly. So get developed and stop knight d4. I actually asked you this, getting some deja vu, and then you were like, is it just knight e2?
Yep.
And yes, exactly.
Cuts that off.
Yes. A gentleman in the chat has now written the same question like 7 times, so I'm gonna just address this very quickly. If the move d6 gets played to attack this, we go here. So black is never in time with d6 in all of these positions. So if even in this variation, for example, all the way down here, black plays d6, we have queen g7. Like black is just never in time with the move d6. If black plays king f8 and we go knight h3 and d6, let's work this out. They want to go here, we want to go here. Are we winning this trade?
Yeah, it's still the same principle. We take, and then we get the bishop too.
Exactly. We take twice with the knight. We're up a piece. The whole I did my job thing. We have an extra material within the first 10 moves, so we're good. And the same thing can be said if the queen ends up here. There's actually a very fun variation here, which goes like queen f3, bishop takes knight, and we don't even take back. We threaten mate.
Ooh, okay.
And then if the bishop comes back, they're like, I'm so clever. What do we do to their poor queen in the center of the board?
Just trap it at c3.
c3. This, actually, I do think you will get, unlike that knight e7 thing. And now the queen is trapped. Yeah, the queen actually will get trapped, because it's very natural for black. They're just looking around, because every move, you're attacking their queen. They're not thinking, how do I counterattack his queen? They're thinking, how do I get my queen out of danger? And it will land on d4, and it will get trapped. This is very... Memorizing the copycat. You've gotten a few of them, haven't you? Because I've seen like a few of... Yeah, I feel like people... Yeah, so...
I just need to remember, right, after moving the bishop, it's queen next to g4.
Yeah. Yes, and if d6 on the third move, you go to your d3 and your f4. You don't put your knight out in front of your f-pawn. You want to get d3, f4, and then get your knight out.
Okay, so can we walk through this one then? So they play the pawn move, and then it's here.
Yep. So they play knight f6.
And then here.
Actually, I'm going to go a more challenging version of this. I'm going to play knight f6 first. I'm not going to block in my bishop. All right, so go ahead.
Same thing though, yeah.
Yes. So d3. Let me go bishop c5. Play d6. f5. Very early. I like it.
Okay.
Blocking me out. I would say you could probably wait just a moment, but I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with this move.
Okay. So most people take when we get to this position. They take on f4. I take back with bishop, and then is it knight?
You're saying they do this?
Yeah, and then I come here.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, if at your level they're taking, yeah, we should review. And then you say they like go like this, or they castle?
It depends. Sometimes castle. Mainly, most times they'll move that pawn though. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Knight is the right piece.
Okay.
Trying to think. Is there anything specific in this move order?
Auxiliary sub jeepers.
So if they take, I actually think, and like they castle or something. If you want to play, and have you struggled with this? The fact that you can't castle?
No, not usually. Oftentimes I'll just like make a move to open up the center, push the bishop off, or something like that. It hasn't been too much of an issue.
Great. So d4 is good. Another thing you can do, let's not forget.
Yeah.
I actually think if you incorporate this long castle, you'll just destroy everybody, because black will castle this way. This is the one thing that holds people back sometimes in Vienna. It's not optimal for black to take in the center, and it's also not great for white to castle queenside in the London. And it's only depending on if black plays like a grandmaster, and you're not facing grandmasters, I would hope. So, unless black is cheating, or actually, the irony of saying that you're not facing anonymous grandmasters is not lost on me. But yeah, queen d2 and then something with long castle. Also very good idea here is bishop g5, especially if you can get this pin without the bishop.
Thanks to the prime.
Why? Like, as long as this is the pin, because for example, how do you add pressure to the knight?
We just bring the knight up now, d5.
Just knight d5. You're gonna open that king. See what I'm trying to get?
Mm-hmm.
Open up the king, get the queen in there. Yeah, I think this will This will be very good. So incorporate a queenside castle.
Like the
It's very
prime
good to know that
BKO.
people aren't doing this. So if they're taking because they can, then get the pieces out and then maybe castle queenside. And maybe what the attack will look like after that, if we just go that whole length. For instance, bishop to e6. Would you take, or would you slide back, or would you just castle?
So in 3-minute games, I usually don't make the trades because I like to make them like walk it through. It takes more time, so I usually drop it back.
Good. I like that strat. Let's say queen d7. Connecting my rooks. Well, actually, now maybe d4, d5 is very good. But let's just say you castle long.
He's the prime
I'm going to
chainsaw.
play a6, trying to create some sort of pawn storm on you. How would you attack white here?
So I'd probably bring my rook over to e1 and look to push up on e5 with the pawn. Even though I think that's maybe overloaded.
You said d4 and e5?
Yeah, I'd try and push through there, but I'd also bring my rook over to e1.
Uh-huh. Definitely not bad. Also, did I just say we attack white? Attack black. Opposite side castling. What's the first thing that comes to mind? Did a lot of attacking examples today, so I see king is over there. I want to open the G file.
You can just start pushing up the pawns.
Yeah, whether or not this is the best move according to the computer, you know, G4, maybe H4, just open it up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, if you go G4 and they, like, take with the knight, for example,
Makes the
put
reset
something on
pile.
G1, you maybe block the bishop out. Don't lose the rook. And by the way, even if you lose the rook, I'm not sure this is even that like, practically speaking, that great for black to deal with all this. Like, black has to probably be precise. One bad move, and all of a sudden it's like bishop H6, mate is being threatened. My computer says one thing, but I'm not so sure. Maybe we play D4, block it out. But yeah, play it like this. And if you like your strategy of running it down mid, you have my blessing. That's also good.
Okay.
It's also good. If it works, it works. If it works, it works. For Blitz, do you have any like time management things that you keep in mind somehow? Like, do you?
Oh, fuck no. I've been getting a lot better at it. Like, I went back over 1K mainly through 3-minute games, so I'm definitely getting faster. But the amount of time where I'll find myself with like 30 seconds left where I felt like I still had 2 minutes is nuts. I do nothing to remind myself of time.
You can, if you want, a good thing to follow could be like, all right, I am never going to be down more than 20 seconds on the clock. Now, in game flow, that could be really
Thanks to
difficult.
reset Bryce.
Or like 30 seconds, max, absolute ceiling. And it's not easy. I mean, I struggle with this, you know. I'm pretty sure that even Daniel, who is like a bullet machine, when he plays slow games, I think he also
He's a
takes his
prime
time
bean.
a lot. He gets into like low time situation a lot. It's just like to think, man.
Yeah.
So set yourself that little thing, like 30-second barrier. And if you're up on time, I'm never gonna let my opponent get within 15 seconds. If I'm already up on the clock by like 30 seconds, I'm never gonna make that barrier go 15.
Thanks to Prime
Like,
Heyo.
go any closer than 15. Something like that will be very good. And then just constantly scanning the checks, the captures, you know, the attacks, those kinds of possibilities. And I think that will be good. And as far as homework goes, I mean, no homework. Catch somebody with a queen g4 symmetrical Vienna, and I'll be happy.
Is that what that's called? That bishop queen line after throwing the knight there?
Yeah. Well, I just call it copycat, and then if they go copycat, queen g4 is death. It's like it's literally the touch of death. If you can get queen g4, queen f6, knight d5, it's like 99% win rate or something. So people, I've had like 1600 level players tell me that over a sample size of 30-40 games, they get 90% win rate with this move. So, yeah, it could be like a easy melting of the opponent. Plus, they're going to be thinking, and you know, you're going to play queen g7, queen f7.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, to get into the copycat, it has to be 1-to-1, right? Like, it has to be bishop. He has to move. Okay. There's no other way of getting in there.
It's exactly. It's not just, oh well, if the bishops are like this, I'm gonna go queen g4. No, it's e4, e5, knight c3, knight c6, bishop c4, bishop c5,
Okay.
and that's it. Now, if it's
Thanks for prime fatty dabs.
so if it's like knight c3 and then they go here, and then you go here, and then they go here, it's still a copycat.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Just as long as it's completely symmetrical. If it's this, yes, it's copycat, but no, you cannot go here because you
Bishop.
lose your queen.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's the small difference. Now, maybe, like, I don't know, super, like, random, nuanced, hypothetical, if, I don't know, they go b6, d3, and back, you know, like, the extra inclusion of the move doesn't always matter. Because you could still attack the g7 pawn as long as you're not losing the queen. But in general, this concept, with the 2 knights and the 2 bishops, the second they get their knight out, it doesn't work, sadly. But
so when they bring the knight out, what was the progression again? Knight comes out from that position. No. From I bring queen over to g4. They bring out knight to attack the queen. I just take the pawn, go in.
Yep.
Okay.
If they don't guard this, you just take it.
Okay, cool.
They don't guard this, you just take it. Even this d5, they think they're so smart because of this, but you go queen g7, you just win. Like, there are only 2 moves you really need to worry about are queen out to f6, guarding this, pawn up.
Okay, and pawn up, I drop back to f3.
Yep, you drop back to f3. And if at any point you forget, I know a guy on YouTube. So, you know, type in Vienna, and then, you know, the click on the video player, it'll say copycat, and just, you know, we don't need to
Thanks for the
don't always need to wait. That's actually the best way. Like, if you mess it up, review it immediately, because you don't want to make the same mistakes 3-4 times. But I know that I've seen you play like the past few days, man. You play like 20-30 games. You play a lot. So where do you play? You play like on your phone when you're like relaxing on the toilet?
No. I'll just sometimes I'll just get the itch, and I'll just hop on for like 10 something games in 3 minutes, and I just do that on the computer.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I noticed that when I was looking for your game against Hikaru, like I made the funny video of it. Like it was like 50 games back, even though you had played. You had to. Oh, you played Arena Kings. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why. How'd you do in Arena Kings?
401 out of 1688. So not terrible, but I lost 3 games where I was winning. I just lost on time. So it could have been higher.
That will happen. Those are the worst. How's your mouse speed? You good at like pre-moves, or no? That's a.
Oh, we don't even need to get into that. That's a fucking can of worms right there.
Well, all the blitz training will pay off for tie breaks if you need to, you know, get the one blitz game at the end when it's a tie. But hopefully you just beat everybody in the 10-minute.
Yeah.
And your brain is supercharged for the 10-minute now. Any questions before we sign off?
I think I'm all set, man. That was good.
Awesome. All right, I'll check in. If you have any questions throughout the week, feel free to be like, dude, I don't remember what the hell I'm supposed to do. And set up a time maybe for next week.
Sounds good to me, man. Absolutely. Thanks again.
No problem. Have a good. You gonna keep streaming?
No, I'm gonna head out for now, so I'll toss stream your way again today.
Oh, I was gonna raid you. All right.
Oh,
well,
wait, are you still?
I'll get you back. I got you in the past. I'll get you again. You know, it's.
Yeah, of course. So, are you still streaming before I toss it over to the Levy ending screen?
No. You could find somewhere else.
Okay.
I'm not gonna absorb it just to absorb it and then leave in like 30 minutes. No, it's all good.
All right, man. That sounds good. Well, I appreciate it, bro.
All right. Have a good rest of your day then. Not stream.
All right.
See you.
Talk to you soon, bro. All right. Oh, sweet. Well, thank you, Sal. I will be streaming again later tonight, like at 8 or 9. So, like 5 hours from now-ish. But thanks everyone for tuning in. Everyone who donated, big thanks. New subs, welcome aboard. This sub means a lot to me, so thank you for this sub generosity. Let's see who's in the chess category that I haven't ever tossed you to. Since Levy's heading out, I will toss you to... Who do we got here? Oh, Hikaru's streaming. I'll toss it to Hikaru. This man slapped me on the 900 ladder playing as a smurf. playing on a Smurf. So here, he can take it. Alright, thanks again, everyone. I really appreciate it, and I will see you all tonight. Oh, wait, Levy's calling back. No, he didn't. What are you talking about? Thanks again, everyone. Take it easy. Have a great day. See you tonight. Bye-bye.